Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Mike Lee Cullen II, and with me, as always, is
Cecily, Ariel, and Carter.
Ariel.
Yeah.
So why did we pick this name?
No reason at all.
No reason.
No cultural reason or.
It's a beautiful name.
Yeah, it's a nice name. You know, I like the. You know, when I think of the word Ariel, I think of something, you know, dark, you know, and maybe the color black, you know, and some people got mad at me for that, so you know, like, okay, whatever, and then
That happens.
yeah,
People get upset when, things are not like they want them to be.
yeah. I mean, right now I'm looking at my copy of the Book of Mormon. Well, not my copy, the library's copy, and this dark blue the cover is, and then it's a little black, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, and some people might be like, "Hey, we gotta change the cover of that book, there, bro. It's a little bit too dark for me." So,
Well, I think you should attack Haley Berry for an actress with a similar sounding name being cast in a movie. That's all I'm saying.
oh, is that what's going on?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
people were attacking her because they thought that was her.
Oh, I didn't know that because I just picked Ariel just out of the box. There was no connection at all with
Oh yeah.
that.
Well, people are upset that Halle Bailey was cast as Ariel, but they went to the point where they were so stupid that they started attacking the wrong Halle.
Oh, they just got their pitchforks and their fire.
But then they argue that they're not racist. Yet they can't tell the difference between a much older but still beautiful woman and a younger actress. Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Uh-huh. Oh God.
By the way, did you know that I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yes, I did. I knew that.
Uh
I knew whatever it was you were going to say.
I love the argument though that because they're enshrouded in darkness deep under the sea, that would make every sea creature white for some reason.
But actually, if you want to get scientific, a lot of creatures that are deep down in the sea are darker to protect themselves.
Exactly. So I that's just a very weird argument. I mean, like you've seen eels. A lot of them are black.
They were a good band.
What's that?
They were a good band, the Eels. Oh, no.
Sorry. You know, there's different kinds of fish that are brown. I mean, it's like this argument, like every single sea creature is just like white is the dumbest. One thing, evolution, like you said, evolutionary stupid. Because if you're trying to like not be like prey for other creatures, you don't want your skin or whatever to be like sparkling white, so it's like a target on your back. Like
I will tell you though, it is kind of interesting to know that the downfall of society is going to be about the casting of a mermaid, and also that somehow took away from people attack. It helped lessen the attacks on the television show She-Hulk, which we are covering today.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said before, it's the straw that broke the camel smoker's back. No, it's
yes,
like everything else was like building up, and they're like, God damn it, that's it. That's the final straw for me, brother. Ariel, the mermaid. By the way, I haven't seen the Little Mermaid since it came out back in 1991, so I don't even remember much because I was drunk at the time when I went and was court ordered to take my daughter to see the movie during our twice a month visitation rights because I I'm a victim of divorce court. Divorce court always sides with the mother, brother, always. Dad's fatherrights.com. Anyway, so I went to go see that movie back in '91. Got her a little Happy Meal at the McDonald's, and then they had a little toy with a little crab on it or some stupid fish with the blue fins. I don't, whatever. I didn't like him at all. I'm glad that Ariel didn't like him either because he was a piece of shit. Anyway, so then I hardly saw my daughter for the past 30 years because I'm a deadbeat dad. And then all of a sudden, I don't turn on the TV. Normally, I'm watching, Joe Rogan or Dave Rubin or my boy Ben Shapiro. He's the only
Yeah,
dude I like.
but I turn on the TV to my good friend Sean Hannity, and
Sean Hannity. And
and
all of a sudden, I
yep,
go see a trailer of this movie called The Little Mermaid that's supposed to be live action. Already, right there is red flag because I don't like live actions of cartoon movies. Never works. Don't do it. Don't try it. And then all of a sudden, I see Ariel. I'm thinking, oh, maybe there's something wrong with my TV. Maybe I gotta, do some adjustments or whatever. See what's going on. Nope. I find out bright color because I turn up all the color on my TV now. It's actually starting to hurt my eyes, my corneas. I might actually go need to see an eye doctor, but I can't afford to see an eye doctor because of Obamacare. Thanks, Obama. And then I go see bright black human woman singing some song, her face looking up into the camera from the water. And I'm like, that's it. I'm gonna go with my truck now. That actually I'm not legally allowed to drive now because I have several DUIs. So I'd sit
and my eyesight is really bad because I've been turning up the TV ever since that French Prince of Bel Air show premiered, and I was like, why is this prince black? I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand black princes. Okay, it's not like it exists like in several kingdoms in Africa. Anyway, and then I go in my truck and I record my video in my truck talking about, oh, this is it. This is society is ending. Black Mermaid, Ariel.
Yep, and and Starbucks doesn't have Happy Holidays on their cups anymore.
No, and like Tucker Carlson said, the liberals are gonna make us drink Starbucks every day for the rest of our lives until we die. Now, Joe Biden hasn't implemented that policy yet. Not sure why. It's been about 2 years into his administration. Maybe it's just because he's too tired. Sleepy Joe. Okay, anyway.
So, She-Hulk.
Yeah, done with that character.
Okay, so today on the show, we are covering episode 5 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, entitled Mean Green and Straight Poured Into These Jeans. It was directed by Anu Valia and written by Dana Schwartz. Okay, so initial thoughts here on the episode.
I kind of like this one because there was no superheroing at all in this episode.
Yeah.
And so it's just like a straight up like Ally McBeal law episode.
Yeah.
What I thought was just kind of interesting because I'm like, oh, I'm watching a show about two superheroes literally just in a court of law, just duking it out, in the legal,
legally as opposed to with fisticuffs.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool. And like I said before, like when people are complaining about superhero movies like taking over all of cinema and how you can't watch like any like art films anymore or whatever. And it's like, I understand that, but at the same time, I was saying, I'm like, yeah, but what we're gonna start seeing though is that superhero shows. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. It's not a gay frog in my throat, but I got a frog in my throat. But not one of Alex Jones's gay frogs, but
it's okay.
But like what I was saying was we're gonna start seeing superhero shows evolve or movies, evolve, to start talking about, different things, like instead of just like, oh, we're gonna get into a big fight with the alien or whatever.
And
And
that's why a lot of people are getting upset, which is stupid because they've obviously never read a comic book, because comic books have never been one thing, and
right.
that's why the genre of the MCU is reflecting that. And it's kind of like how you can't call animation a genre, you also can't call, you know, um comic book movies a genre. I mean, because they're not the same. I mean, Dark Knight is nothing like Shazam, So
Yeah,
so
exactly.
yeah, it's like
Yeah. And speaking of Shazam, now we gotta wait a full extra year for that to come
oh,
out.
I know.
So that pissed me off. But
I'm
at least they have.
I'm doing a rewatch right now at Chuck, and it's also gotten me like, hey, I want more Zachary Levi. Come on.
You know,
So
got to see a trailer, and then all of a sudden they bumped it back a whole year. So like, oh, thanks guys. And then but yeah, that can go either two ways. So that could be, you know, that could make people complain even more, because then it's like, oh well, superhero shows are now assimilating every other genre of films. So now we got like drama superhero movies. Now we got law superhero movies. So now they're taking over, and it's like, but also like you said, it's like, but the comic books have already had these
yeah,
things already.
and also like I've said too, it's like the animation is not one genre either.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Cowboy Bebop is not Toy Story, and they're both animation. It's like
Right.
you can't,
And Toy Story is not, what, I don't know, I can't think of, but
Toy Story is not, The Hobbit, so it's like you
yeah, there
got
you go.
different, genres of storytelling within the thing. Because I mean that would be like saying, movies, they're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Seen one TV show, I've seen them all.
Yeah, man. I'm all brother.
Yeah.
But no, I liked it. I mean, it was
Yeah.
kind of cool just to have them, I mean, literally just was just over a trademark, issue. I mean, and it's like the stakes are so low, but then they're so high at the same time. Like it's just great when they do stuff like that. Like we went from Thanos, literally erasing half of all living creatures in the entire universe, not just our planet, the entire universe, to like, oh shit, someone took She-Hulk's name, but at the same time you're like, oh, like how's this gonna play out, man? Like, like
it's just as important. No, I'm joking. Yeah, it is kind of way, because you are taking over somebody's name, whether they wanted the name or not. It's like I didn't want to be named Mike, but if somebody started trying to take my name, even though I took my dad's name, but
legally, and then legally trademarked it so that you're not allowed
to use it. Yeah, that'd be creepy.
Yeah, that's my initial thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this episode. I mean, it was just a just like a straightforward law comedy. It was cool to see Renee Elise Goldsberry in it too, in a more prominent role in this as Jennifer's lawyer. Book is her last name. What's her first name? The character, Mallory Book. There we go. Yeah.
But so that she has to be smart. I mean, come on.
Yes, because her name's Mallory, right? Oh wait, no. Oh, Book. I'm joking.
I mean that too.
So, yeah. I really like the episode. So what goes on in this episode here?
Well, she she starts just basically seeing like how this is going to start affecting her life, because she's driving past some billboards, and she's sees like a She-Hulk ad for some like beauty products that Titania
we also had a scene with Ched.
Yeah, because she's like watching, brushing her teeth or making breakfast or whatever, and she sees an ad and she sees some billboards. She's listening to a podcast and one of the sponsors is.
Yeah, and then like there was a
Yeah,
scene before that with Ched where
I
he.
thought that was after, but
Oh no,
maybe
no,
not.
it was first. It was the first scene.
Mm,
After she saw the thing on TV, then Ched came to the door.
mm.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
pretty sure that was the order. But yeah,
okay,
yeah, and Ched was selling She-Hulk stuff and trying to get her to sign it.
yeah, like basically like slimy, like, oh hey, like I'm supporting your business venture here, and it's like this, it's not me, it's some other person. And he's like being so condescending. He's like, well, why would you let her do that? It's like, I didn't do that. He's like, Jen, this is how trademark works. Is if someone else, you know, beats you to it, then that means that you can't use it or whatever. It's like, wait a minute, you're out lawyering the lawyer, like.
Yeah, because that's where it because yeah, and that's where it went into the uh the title card, which changed from She-Hulk to She-Hulk by Titania.
They had like a pink,
Yeah,
like it kind of, which is so weird because green is like the. I mean, one of the things she was wearing like a green dress, but like
yeah,
the the actual like I guess logo, if you will, of the She-Hulk beauty products is like this sort of like off pink, um, type of you know color scheme or whatever. She's like, that Titania, I'm gonna somehow, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this, whatever.
yeah.
And actually, she doesn't want to do anything about it at first at all. And then until her boss was like, hey, like why did I whatever, she's like eating like a nut or something, and she's like, is everything okay, sir? And he's like, no, actually, you know, you gotta watch this guy. He plays deadpan so well. And then
I
he's
know.
like, why did I pass a billboard this morning of She-Hulk booty boost smoothie or something like
Yeah.
that? And he's like, okay, like that's actually not me. Someone else. Like, so the name She-Hulk never officially was mine. It was just people in the media started calling me that. And then he's like, and then there's the awful woman who's slightly superpowered. He's like, okay, like none of that really concerns me. He's like we hired you for our superhero law division because we thought it would like give us clout or whatever.
I
Like,
mean,
and
the thing does remind me of like people that will besides the like the trademarking like names or something like that. It does remind me of the whole like website sitting type thing where you'll register a website that you think is going to be popular, that
yeah,
of something that's going to be popular, and then somebody like there was a car dealership that their webs they had the rights to the website The Jay Leno Show.
oh wow,
And so when you went to that website, it went to their car dealership website as
interesting.
well. So NBC ended up having to pay for that when Jay left the Tonight Show for
Oh,
that year and started the Jay Leno Show. They
see,
ended
that's
up
smart.
they ended up paying him like thousands or millions of dollars
Right.
for the website. So it's kind of a, similar thing, but the thing with the internet being like a, wild wild west sort of thing, you kind of you know, were able to get away with it because there wasn't a law on the books that said something about how, if it's your name, you own it, for a website. So they could have something that's, the Jay Leno Show. And it could go
Oh,
and it
okay.
could be for anything. So
See, I don't know if I agree with that though, because like, see, in that case,
yeah.
there was no way that that person would ever know that the Jay Leno would have his own show called the Jay Leno Show. So it's
I
just kind
think
of like,
I don't remember the history of it and why he created that,
mm.
but I mean his name wasn't Jay Leno or anything.
No, no. What I'm saying though is like an investment, like you're banking on the idea that maybe at some point in
Yeah,
the
and
future,
that's the thing. That's what people would do though. Like
right?
they'd register a bunch of things, but I think he may. I don't know what the history was. He may have actually heard that they were possibly developing a show for Jay Leno,
Okay,
or knew that Jay was going to be retiring soon, so he would probably be moving on to something else and create a
okay,
show for himself that was possibly going to be called the Jay Leno Show, whether it be a sitcom or a show about cars or a talk show. So
gotcha.
it would,
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna
yeah.
say like if someone wants to like spend some money on the website on the
Hmm.
like on the almost like a lottery ticket on the when
Yeah.
let's say you know I don't know what it is. Let's say like something's not famous yet, but you
Yeah.
just have an idea that sometime in the future that it might be.
Hmm.
So then you make a website with that name. I totally think it's fine at that point, but in this case, from the She-Hulk the episode,
Yeah, it's a completely
it,
different animal
it
because there are legal precedent for, somebody taking your name and
right.
copywriting it where it's not.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the point I was trying to make is that like is saying like because the case that they're making in the show is that like Titania only trademarked the name once the name She-Hulk had already been
Been
like
famous.
become popular. So it's like so it was already like name recognition going
Exactly.
on. You know. So
But but
what
but
I'm
I but I
saying,
do know that early. But I mean the thing similarity I was giving about it is the fact that Jay Leno was already an established person when this
yeah,
guy created this website. I mean, it's the same thing happened early on in the days of the internet where or like the early days of like Twitter or something where somebody would create a Twitter handle that would be like, let's say, Tom Cruise or something like that before Tom Cruise had gotten a Twitter handle. I'm just making this up. I don't know if this actually ever
well,
happened. But
yeah,
then but
that's
then but
different.
then they ended up having to do some kind of settling later on where they actually early on had to buy the Twitter handle from the person that already registered it. Or
See,
sometimes or they had to go to court and be like, "Hey, this is Tom Cruise." But it gets down to the point where, you ended up getting weird Twitter handles for, celebrities that would be like the real, you know, Michael Cullen, like I'm not a celebrity, but something, whatever the celebrity's name is, because they would have to put that in front of their name. But yeah, this situation is interesting to see how they played it out and decided that what was legal and what wasn't, because it actually is a kind of a precedent in this world of things because She-Hulk was such a new name. So what else happens here?
so there's like a B story, B plot, where Pug is asking Nikki for a favor if um she'll go with him to buy the new Iron Man 3 shoes, but they only let you buy one one pair per customer, so he wants her to buy a pair too so he can have you know two, and she's like, well, why do you want that? And he's like, one rock and one to stock.
Yeah.
And then she's like, wait, so you you just you just collect shoes that you just look at and don't wear? And he's kind of like, yeah. And she's like, I respect that. And then that's like a new lingo of the youth. It's I respect that. I hate that. But anyway, but I'm an old man now who hates new slang. Which is fine, whatever. And then because every generation hates the new slang of the
That's
next one,
groovy. That's groovy.
and these people are gonna then hate the slang from the next one, and then just go on and on and on. Anyway, so and then she calls in her favor too because she's you have to return the favor with interest, and then she's like um my guy Alonzo or something about a drip broker. It's like what the
Yeah.
fuck is a drip broker? And then he's like, all right, well I'm calling in my
Drip
favor
is a
now.
name for clothing.
Oh, okay,
Or like,
gotcha.
like the stuff you're wearing is drip
I
because it's dripping on you.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so like she's like, all right, well now I'm calling in my favor now too. He's like, wait, well you haven't even done my thing yet. It's like, yeah, but I'll let you slide on the interest, aren't I? And then and then she wants you know, to find someone who can make She-Hulk clothes just because she's just wearing just like a suit that doesn't really just I don't know, just drab. It just doesn't really look, you know,
It
nice or
doesn't
whatever.
drip with goodness.
No, it doesn't. So then he's like, "Oh, totally, yeah, you know." So then they go to like this place, and it's really just like a boba cafe. And he's like, "Well, that's where Alonzo told me to go." So then they go there, and then the guy is like, pretending like it's just like a regular boba cafe. And then Nikki says in Chinese, "We're not cops," and he's like, "Is that Chinese?" "I'm not Chinese," and he walks away, and he's like, "Oh my god, like I offended him or whatever." Like, he's mad at us. Then like he just shows up, and there's like just like this curtain, which to me was weird. I was like, if you're doing bootleg stuff, like is a curtain enough to? I mean, any customer could just walk through there if they wanted to, and then
Well, that's how I do it when I sell the the bootleg All Too Real 2 t-shirts
yeah,
out of my boba
like
tea um cafe.
the
Um
boba cat. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, because I'm like, wouldn't I want like a locked door? I
Yeah.
mean, granted, the
I mean,
stuff is
the stuff I sell, it says all three fake, but it's
yeah,
it's close enough.
yeah. I mean, the stuff he's selling isn't like that bad, so I guess it doesn't really need like a huge thing. But like, just knock off stuff like Avengers T-shirts or Avengers T-shirts.
Hmm.
The stuff that you see, online that people do like on purpose for you know, they that way they're not directly, you know,
Yeah, it's like you make a t-shirt with Mario, but instead of having a red hat or something, he has a green one,
yeah, or something.
or like a purple one or something, and then you're like, oh.
Which, speaking of trademark law, you would think that they would find a way to make that illegal too, because obviously you know that the person is trying to mimic that. You know what I mean? Like,
It is illegal usually, but
oh,
they
okay,
think
all
they
right,
can get away with it. It's just like the people that think that if they put put a warning on their YouTube video, no copyright intended here, and then they
right.
basically play a whole Rihanna song after it, and you're like, yeah, you're really just playing a Rihanna song here, you know.
Yeah, it reminds me too of the Facebook things where the people would write a Facebook post saying,
Hmm.
"Facebook, I do not give Facebook permission to
Hmm.
blah 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 blah," or whatever. And it's like, dude, you already
You already did when
signed
you
the
signed up.
contract. Yeah, when you signed up, you literally agreed to the contract, and yeah, no one's
Hmm.
gonna read it because it's like 5,000 pages long. Okay, but like you already did that once you made the account, so you can't just write a post on the platform that you already signed the contract to use, and to then say, "Oh, by the way, no, you can't do those things." Come on.
It's
And
like
then,
walking into Walmart and saying, and wearing something that says, "I refuse to pay for my bread," and then just walk out with the bread. No,
yeah,
you
well,
agree. You agree when you walk into the door that you
no,
have to pay for something before.
it's a new, like, really obscure subsection of the law here going on. So anyway, so they insult the guy some more, so they buy some of his stupid shit, and
Yeah,
then he tells them, to where to meet the real guy. So they're showed up dressing all stupid, wearing, Nikki's got, the Avengers t-shirt and the hat, and then Pug's got Thor's hammer, and he's also wearing some kind of a, Avengers or Avengers t-shirt,
hmm,
and they're trying to get a meeting with this guy who,
who's named Luke.
yeah, his name is Luke, and he, which is interesting because, at this time, at least me, I had always assumed that like the superheroes made their own clothing, I guess, just because like that's what Iron Man did for his suit. So I just assumed
Well,
that
not all of
what they,
them can, So yeah. Well, I mean, like in the see, because we get a thing at the end of this episode. I mean, I'm jumping around here, but where we see a Daredevil helmet. In the Netflix Daredevil series, he had a guy that made his costumes for him.
okay,
So I mean, it is kind of a thing. And I mean, it's kind of, I mean, like that that one guy in Black Lightning made, that older guy made stuff for Jefferson.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was like,
And I think like, I mean, I know this is DC, but also, I mean, like Batman, I'm pretty sure like Alfred would make his costumes for him. And then
oh
and then he
yeah,
also had like in the continuity of the movies and the TV shows, he would have um what's his face, Morgan Freeman's character, Lucius Fox, make weapons and costumes for him and stuff too. So
right,
yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so this yeah, so I guess I just never really thought about it, but then I was like, well, yeah, there's got to be someone that
Hmm.
does this stuff, and then they basically tell them that their top client is Titania at first, but then she shrugs like, I saw you shrug, rejected, and whatever. And then finally they're like, oh, actually, it's our client's an Avenger and like a top tier one or whatever. And then he's like, all right, fine, 15-minute consultation or whatever. And then they eventually bring Jen there later. And he's like, I'm not doing this or whatever because she just wants a business suit. He's like, no, like my stuff is like state of the art. Like, and then Nikki's like, okay, but like, what if you can make something, that will like adapt to her body changing because she can like shrink down and then like get super tall again. So then like wouldn't that be really hard to make? So it's kind of like
Yeah.
ego, and he's like, oh yeah, maybe we could try something like that. So then his assistant Tinsley, which I don't know if we ever see.
No, we never see Tinsley.
Okay, he's like Tinsley.
At least I don't remember seeing Tinsley.
Yeah, we just hear he calls him. I don't know where he's ever at. He's probably just running around, trying to collect all the shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're gonna need a lot of fabric or whatever, or something like
Yeah.
that. And, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. And then I mean, it was kind of like something that they were putting into place, but the boss, Holloway, had kind of said, that needs to be done, and that or no, it was Book that brought it up. Yeah, Mallory Book brought it up. I forgot about that. Yeah, she brought up the idea that you need to get better clothing, and called Nikki in, and Nikki's like, I'm already on it. So
Right.
yeah, so
I think that was already part of the plan. Yeah, it was because that suit she was wearing did look kind of just, I don't know,
yeah.
it's very basic, bland, like
She walks
not.
into she walks into court, and I thought it was hilarious that Titania or Titania, however you say, I don't know how you say the name, Titania maybe. Um, she calls her. She's like, nice outfit, Shrek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
that was kind of
Which was interesting because early on people were trying to compare She-Hulk to Fiona's version of an ogre in Shrek.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like trying to say that the CGI was like that. Um, yeah. I will tell you, the interesting thing about Jamila Jamil in this series is that she does an American accent.
Yeah,
She totally does it flawlessly too. I mean, it's like you can almost hear her British accent once in a while, but not totally. So it's kind of interesting.
yeah,
So yeah.
and she looks different too. I mean,
Yeah.
like, with like the makeup and the hair and stuff.
Hmm.
Like for a second, I was like, I thought they had recast a different actress. I was like, wait a minute, I thought that's supposed to be Jamil Jamil, but
Yeah.
and then but it's her. She just got like those like star things on her cheeks or whatever, and like the
And she's got makeup on and hair.
yeah.
And it's interesting the character that they have her playing because it's completely the opposite of the person she is on social media, because she's very anti like beauty industry. So
Right.
it's interesting.
The beautiful person telling everyone else that they're beautiful even if they're not. Yeah, that whole thing. But like, it's just like sometimes people they kind of dragged her for that. Like, okay, You're not
Yeah,
the person to say
but
this because
but still,
are objectively attractive. Well, I'm just saying,
I
it's
I mean
like,
I think her heart's in the right place though.
oh,
Unlike
it
some
is.
people are doing it facetiously, but I think she's in the right place. So
Oh, she
yeah.
is, but it's just like having like a bodybuilder be like, muscles aren't ain't everything, bro, and he's like flexing his muscles as
Mhm.
he does said that. It's like, okay, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, but
maybe
it's interesting because we live in a society where people will criticize her who's beautiful for telling everybody that they're beautiful, but will also tell not saying she's not beautiful, but saying that somebody um like oh, what's her face? The one that just won an Emmy. Um
yeah, I'm not sure.
um Lizzo, that's who I was thinking of.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Lizzo will tell people that she has a show called Watch Out for the Big Girls that she won an Emmy for recently, and
Yeah.
people like I mean obviously it was like people like Ben Shapiro and stuff trying to say that she's like evil because she's promoting unhealthy body types and stuff like that.
Oh, I
But
see.
yeah,
Yeah.
but she's trying to say that you got to love who you are and what body you're in and stuff like that. And yeah, but people will criticize a beautiful person for saying love the body you're in, but also a person who's not your atypical, thin model type either. So it's like
You're not allowed to be confident,
you're not allowed to be confident if you're a woman. But but
even if you're a man. Though I've seen
oh,
people
sometimes
like,
too, they're like that too, but it's also but it seems to be a lot of times with women are judged by their looks more than men are, obviously, because you've got somebody in their age and everything too, because you've got a society where somebody like you know Tom Hanks is still being cast in things and actually is considered an attractive man, or Clint Eastwood or something like that, but a woman of that same age is hardly ever cast, you know.
yeah.
So it's just it's I just hate the idea that I think we all should just love who we are, and I know I'm saying this, and whatever I'm either fat or skinny or whatever you want to view me as. I don't give a fuck. It's just it's the thing. I think we should all just love ourselves for who we are. Sure, try to better yourself health wise. That's a given, but it shouldn't matter if you're a big girl like Lizzo or a skinnier person like Jamila Jamil. Yeah. But anyways, back to the show. Sorry, tangent. Um, what goes on here in the courtroom?
Uh, let's see here. They they established that Titania only trademarked the name She-Hulk once it already had name recognition and was
Yeah.
kind of using that, in the marketplace,
And
for the specific reason of,
once Jennifer had already accepted the name, but they tried to
yeah,
they tried to like counterbalance it with previous things where she didn't want to be called She-Hulk, but but she basically was given the name. It's like when you're given a nickname in the real world too. Sometimes when you're like people called me Mikey as a kid and I hated it,
mhm,
but eventually I just got used to it and I was like, okay, whatever. So
yeah. So yeah, so they established that, that she only did it to sell her, quote, sham products, as um, uh, Mallory book described it. And then they found another video uh, where Jen was being interviewed by by the news or whatever, saying that whether she likes it or not, she's just going to be She-Hulk now because that's just what people
yeah,
started calling her. So then that's what won her the case. And then Titania is like, also too, there is this thing where, so the way she was going to win the case was that the fact that she had created a dating profile as She-Hulk,
oh
and
yeah,
then went on several dates with these, like, scuzzy dudes or whatever.
She
And
brought
then
she brought them all in to testify.
right, because Todd was actually a big client of. So there's something going on with this Todd guy.
Yeah.
Um, he's not just some annoying fan guy. He's there's something. He's either rich or something. I don't know. But then like, so she's like, "Oh yeah, can you do me a favor or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, we go for drinks sometime." And she's like, "Yeah, sure." And then they're like, "Wow, like I literally like took me 40 seconds to like just like do another date with this guy." Like, and then um and then like so they're all talking about their dates with She-Hulk, and you got that one guy who's like making a big deal about how much she could bench press or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, she was like a little bit try hard for me." It's like, really, dude? Like you're the one that was like
Yeah.
bragging about the fact that you could bench press 600. Like I'm not even a superhero, like okay. And then like you had
He's got to make
you
himself
know
look good, brother.
yeah, like it's like I'm not about that. It's like actually that's literally what you're about. But
Yeah.
okay, and then you had the author guy, then you had um Todd, and then you had the really nice doctor guy.
The
They
inc-
didn't they didn't get the one
the
guy.
incredibly attractive guy that they yeah, as Mallory Book calls him later. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but they didn't have the one dude that was like the most annoying the guy from the one that was uh like just scrolling through the phone and stuff like
Oh,
that
but
while
but that she dated him when she was Jennifer.
oh okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then so then they're asking the extremely attractive guy like would you have gone on a date with her as Jennifer Walters, and he's like I don't mean to be rude, but no, because she's not really my type. She-Hulk is like my type or whatever because she's amazing and stuff like that. So then it's like, so then she's kind of like feels like, oh shit, like like people only like me because I'm She-Hulk, type. So
Yeah.
we're probably gonna deal with that now for a few episodes of like,
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
like, well, because in the comic book, it's kind of weird though, because in the comic books, they're kind of doing a reversal because in the comic books, she actively embraces the She-Hulk version of herself and
Yeah.
actually likes that more than Jennifer Walters. Like she parties and she's like very shall I say I can't think of the word promiscuous.
Yeah.
Like there's like a picture someone did recently. They're like, "Oh, well, She-Hulk would never twerk or whatever." Then they showed a picture of her just like getting nude into like a big hot tub or
Oh
hot
yeah.
spring for all these other superheroes, and stuff like that. So it's like
It
obviously
it does make
like
more sense to switch it though for the television audience
yeah,
because like especially in 2022 because back to the whole thing where you got to love yourself for who you are sort of thing.
yeah,
And who she is not She-Hulk. That's just part of her. She is Jen Walters. She's just sometimes She-Hulk, sort of thing, even though she has to do it as a job. But it's like if you were it'd be like being pigeonholed. Like if you're like Derek Jeter and the only thing people care about you is that you're a baseball player. Not saying that is why he's famous, but it's like Derek probably thinks, hey, there's more to me than being a
yeah,
baseball player. That's basically the same kind of thing here.
yeah. I mean, She-Hulk is definitely part of her though too.
Yeah,
So
and him
she,
being a baseball player is part of him too, and it might
yeah,
be the most important part too, but it's like you got to realize there's more to people. Like, if you're a gas station attendant, you don't want to be just known as the gas station attendant
yeah,
either, so yeah.
yeah. So like, yeah, in the comic books, she's much more like elaborate, like doing karaoke bars and which maybe we'll see a karaoke thing with Wong because that's what they did at the end of
Oh yeah.
so that would be kind of cool. Um, but like yeah, like so far she's kind of taken a little bit more time to embrace that part of herself more fully, but like because it doesn't really like change her personality or anything
No.
like that. like with the Hulk, like it does change. Well, the not Smart Hulk or
Yeah.
whatever they call them now in the. I thought it was gonna be called Professor Hulk, but then when subtitles came on for Endgame for the first time, it said Smart Hulk. I'm like, okay, like whatever.
They should just call him Smulk. Smart Hulk.
Call him Smulk.
Yeah, it just reminds me. There's an episode of News Radio where Matthew, like Joe creates a potion that's supposed to make people smarter, and Matthew takes it. It's it's basically this placebo effect where he starts acting really smart, and they start calling him Smatthew.
Wow.
Smart Matthew. So
Matthew is hilarious. So, Titania is like, this isn't over, blah, blah. So who knows what's going to be the next thing with her. And then she's, as she's walking away, that, the guy who's like the bodybuilder is like trying to hit on her, like, oh, I'm so sorry what happened to you today or whatever. Would you like, and she's like, fine, you can buy me things. Let's go. Like, wait a minute. You're rich already. Like, but like,
it's the whole free coffee thing.
Well, she's a shallow person, so I'll just have some man buy me things because he thinks he's gonna get.
I always love that when somebody's famous, they get free things.
Yeah,
and because like there's a Ben Folds song called "Free Coffee." It's all about that point. Like he talks about when he was down in his life and he needed stuff, nobody would give him anything, but now he gets free coffee.
Well, it's because people want to. They want to act like giving someone a free coffee is going to help their career or whatever, or going to become friends with the famous person because of their free coffee. It's like no, like it kind of reminds me of what is it that movie called Get Him to the Greek with Russell Brand. Yeah. That was before Russell Brand became like a cult leader, anti-vaccine, conspiracy theorist kind of guy. But like
much like Joe from News Radio. Okay.
Yeah,
anyways,
I'm like because they found out the grift of being a fake right winger, whether they're sincere or not, pays a lot more than having to actually, act or do anything that's productive. Anyway, so that was before that time. But like there was a scene where they went to Las Vegas and to see his dad because his dad's like a performer at like one of the house bands in some Las Vegas casino or whatever. And then they have dinner, later on or whatever, and then they basically say like, oh, dinner's on the house or whatever for whatever his name was, I forgot.
Aldous Snow.
Yeah, Elvis Snow, and then his dad says, "Isn't it interesting? Once." When you become rich and famous, everything suddenly becomes free. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's what happens. Like, and it's so sad though. Because
when you can afford it, it's free. It's like
they have the money, they can pay for it, but it was just like a throwaway line, but for some reason that line stuck with me forever. Like, and then that movie actually was pretty good.
It's a true thing though. I mean, it's like it's just like rich people get tax breaks they don't deserve to. It's like
exactly, and then like poor middle class, they got to pay like 30% whatever, and then like it's just like part of. So who knows? Titania might become even more of a. I don't really know much about their feud other than that Titania was just super envious of She-Hulk for. And the comic books. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I don't know much about her. We'll have to do some more research between episodes and figure that out. So the rest of the episode, we've got like Book and Walters kind of become friends. They go out drinking together, and then Walters ends up acquiring her new costumes from Luke Jacobson. And then we see the Daredevil helmet sitting out that Tinsley left sitting out.
So. Yeah, Tinsley just like, come on, Tinsley, dude. Like,
I know.
Fuck, man. I'm starting to wonder if Tinsley is even a real person or if it's just a figment of Luke's imagination.
Might be.
That Luke, because like Luke is so perfect that like that he doesn't want to be perfect, so he just like invented like
Uh-huh.
a assistant to make it seem like he's not doing all the work, because then it would just be like too much for his ego.
Oh yeah.
So Tinsley might just be him, and
That's
no,
how
that's
that.
probably not.
That's. I mean, I have an assistant named Tinsley.
Oh,
Um.
you do.
Yeah.
Everyone should have an assistant named Tinsley,
Yeah. And we
but
and we have yet to determine if Tinsley's a guy or a girl or
doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Just call him Tinsley, and we
I mean, it could be non-binary. It doesn't matter.
yeah, it
Just
doesn't
be,
matter.
but you gotta be nice to Tinsley. You can't be mean.
No.
Luke is kind of a little bit mean. I don't like that. So
Yeah.
so you gotta be not like Luke, and you gotta treat your Tinsley, nicely. Tinsley nicely. Okay. Ooh, that should be a good fake name. Tinsley nicely.
That's the
Like
name.
if you want,
That's the name of my EDM band.
like, yeah, like if you definitely want to get caught in a crime when you give a fake name, just say, "My name is Tinsley Nicely." They're like, "That's not a name, sir." Yeah, it is. Look, we'll get my ID, and it's just like some terribly pressed like card or whatever. Like, says so right here, sir. This is clearly written in pencil. No, no,
Your
it was
picture's drawn with Crayola. What?
no,
No, no.
it's me. You're looking at it from a different dimension. That's all. And then
Oh boy.
that should be my new moniker now. Tinsley Nicely and Sesame and Carta
Yes.
are gonna give you the weirdest punk rock clown show you'll ever see.
Be like, I don't know why, but I feel like it should be like tune in tonight for the 6 o'clock news with Tinsley Nicely and Sesame
Yes.
and Carta.
They're gonna talk about taxes. I don't know. Or the best investments, the best bang for your buck, or I don't know, or something like that.
It's Tinsley Nicely with the entertainment news. Wait, no.
And like just give like the worst investment advice ever. Like, I want you to put all of your money into AMC. Do it right now. AMC to the moon, and it just drops like 800%. Like, damn it!
All of your money into Circuit City.
Wait, yeah, yeah. Wait, didn't that close down? Damn it! Put all your money into crypto or Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum or whatever million other tokens or
Beanie Babies. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Beanie Babies. That's
Beanie Babies and baseball cards. That's what you got to do.
It literally is that.
I know.
But the thing is though is that Beanie Babies and baseball cards actually had more of a chance of you actually making money.
And they were actually something physical that even if they didn't appreciate in value, at least you still had a blue elephant.
Yeah, exactly. And plus too, like rock the stock, some people, because back then, of course, comic books, that's another one there, right, too. So like comic books back then, a single edition, pretty cheap. Even to this day, you could get one for like $3, like a single issue. So you just buy two. You buy one that's yours to read, and then you buy one that's pristine. And then later on, when they accrue more value, you sell it all, and then you probably end up making like $500,000 just by all the rare,
I think it was Kevin Smith was on. He just wrote a graphic novel or something, and he was on Seth Meyers the other day, and he gave him maybe it was that, or maybe it was some other old interview I saw with him. But he was on some talk show, and he had written a graphic novel, and he gave the host 2 copies, one to read and one to, put away.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what you do. You rock it and you stock it. And yep.
Exactly what you do. It doesn't cost that much more. Baseball cards, same thing. And I know some people,
and by the way, Rock It and Stock It is the name of Tinsley Nicely's first album.
Rock It and Stock It. I like that. Tinsley Nicely. It's gonna be like a punk / like electro. No, it's gotta be some weird style, like punk / dream pop or Brit pop. Because Tinsley sounds like a British name to me. I'm not sure why.
I think it is
So
kind
it
of
would be like a
British.
Brit pop punk band. Tinsley Nicely. What was it called? Rocket Stock?
Hmm.
No.
So speaking of music though,
Yeah.
we didn't get a mid credit scene this episode either,
No,
which
unfortunately we
was weird.
didn't.
But we did have a cool song. I liked the song playing over the credits at the end, and it was by somebody named Tove or Tove, Strike, called "Say My Name."
Oh yeah.
And I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
I really dug the song. I looked it up earlier and I liked it on Spotify just because I really liked the song, and I think because I've been DJing weddings lately and stuff like that, and I might just throw it in there once in a while when I DJ something. So yeah.
Yeah, the sneak is that like an older song or is
It,
that
it's from like 2019, but
okay,
yeah,
I was wondering if I heard it
yeah,
before.
but I liked it. Any other thoughts here on this episode before we
Uh
wrap up the podcast?
just yeah, just for a second, that song. I love
Yeah.
that like out of tune guitar line. That
Mm-hmm.
do do do
Yeah.
do. That part was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like they intentionally like detuned the guitar to make it just like slightly off
Yeah.
key, and I kind of had that like
It's
that
pretty cool.
rubbing. Yeah, I liked that. I thought that was really neat. But yeah, the last thing is if we have any listeners who you know are somehow still like crazily right wing for whatever reason, still listen to us. I'm not sure, but like, just don't have like an aneurysm over the Little Mermaid. Like, please, guys, like it's a movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Don't have an aneurysm over an African American playing a fictional character, or over a fictional character like She-Hulk either. Just don't have aneurysms about this.
just don't. You don't even have aneurysms at all. If you can
Yeah.
help, but like, but don't. Okay, because like, so stress is real and it actually has effects in your body, and like, I don't like as much as I hate some of these people, I don't want them to like literally make themselves sick over like fictional movies that are made for children. Like really, like it's like
Exactly.
find a hobby, you know. Sorry, okay, someone's stupid's calling me. Anyway, like find a hot. Sorry if that's like that's that making a
I
sound.
can't even hear it.
All right, good, fine.
Okay.
Um, like find a hobby. Maybe find some friends. Like if you find yourself that you don't have any friends, maybe they all moved away or something or whatever, or you know, join a club, not a political club. Like people of your ilk, but
Just
like find like a
find
club.
find a productive and positive hobby. Is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best way to,
something
yeah.
like sports. Probably not gun shooting. Not because there's anything wrong with that, but that'd be the wrong crowd to be going into with your personal proclivities. But like, and I don't know, tennis maybe, soccer, football,
Yeah.
an adult softball league maybe.
Hmm. Just something.
Something. What's that?
I said just something. Good.
Just something to get you out of the house. That would be good as well, and where you're unlikely to be having very many conversations about whether or not a fictional mermaid character should be black or
Stay off
have.
social media for a day or two.
There you
Just
go. That's a good
clean your
one. Or even
mind, because
a
that's the biggest problem we have. I mean,
yeah.
I'm on social media mainly for promoting this podcast all the
Mhm.
time, and I get caught up in things, but I do realize that sometimes when I take a break from it, my mind and body feel like 1,000 times better. So, stay off Twitter, stay off Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, for a day or two. Just, you know, and stay off that, and don't go and watch, CNN or Fox or MSNBC or whatever that's gonna trigger you on one side or the other. Just,
Yeah.
pop in an old classic movie that's not offensive to, your psyche. You know,
Yeah. There you go.
watch The Wizard of Oz if that makes you happy. Watch Singing in the Rain. Watch E.T. Whatever makes you happy, just do something. Listen to some Beatles music if that's gonna calm you down, or
Do it.
whatever band you like. I don't even care if it's like Limp Bizkit or whatever. Just if it makes you happy, do it. Just
It's
yeah.
some of the Bizkit songs are actually not that
Oh, I
bad.
know. I'm just saying. I was just trying to think of something that is kind of aggressive, but still, it's gonna make you happy.
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, do it. Um, be nice to each other. That's the good thing. Do something good for somebody else.
See, that does
Mm-hmm.
help out a lot. They just I mean, yeah, obviously you should do it for the other person, but like it actually does make you feel good about yourself. So
And if a certain person happens to be listening to this, who I know is not going to, um, don't bring legal documents to my mother's birthday party. Anyway, so
oh, he's talking about other people right here.
yes, I am. But anyway, so that's been weighing on my mind and making me upset about people right now that had nothing to do with social media. So I'm just gonna bring that up. So but I don't know. Anything else?
Oh, no,
Okay. So yeah, just love each other. Be good to each other. Do something good for someone. And I love you. Sesame, do you love them?
Oh, Sesame loves you, yes.
Yes.
Sesame and Tinsley nicely love you.
See, all three of us love you. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Haas. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.